Updates in Radiance farming. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. A bit of a follow-up to the last video I did on Radiance, which had some predictions and theories about the volume of Radiance that you could get kind of every 2 months, but also teasers of what we could get per year. We've now had the facts in the data from Kabam on the matter of Radiance, well, from obviously Friday, but also the impact on you farming Hoarding, because Hoarding Radiance might be important for what you want to get specifically, but also getting Magik, which is coming as a 7-star. I kind of reworked 6-star, 7-star on Champion in general. So let's get into the video. Magik is coming to the Radiant store at a later date. We don't know the price for that particular champion, but of course Radiance is something that is more for the... Well, Kabam kind of tipped it as more like for like a competitive currency, and it's kind of not, because it is coming to a point of change for all currencies. So Kabam are exploring consolidation of other currencies in general. I actually welcome this. If it makes it so much easier for Kabam to monitor one store, one vision. I'm not saying one, obviously, character vision, but it's a Queen song. So yeah, if you don't know the band Queen, then of course, yeah, it's one vision. Anyway, so the extent of currencies which you can see on screen, imagine if they were consolidated. It's not exactly 100% possible to do that of things like battle chips. It's definitely possible to do it when it comes to loyalty. Loyalty, you know, amalgamating into Radiance. The same thing with trophy tokens. Put it into Radiance. Glory. Put it into Radiance. Incursion artifacts, possibly going into there. And that's pretty much it. There may be one like Mysterium that probably can go into Radiance. But a lot of those currencies, you could see them very much kind of like consolidating into Radiance in general. And the Radiance store in its current kind of state is actually pretty good. I mean, it is good. It's a great store, by the way. What you can pick up and what you can grab. Imagine just going to kind of grab some of this stuff. You kind of go, well, I prefer doing this like than what the loyalty would be, or you know, what glory would get, because you'd be able to buy stuff straight out, and you kind of like you just know where you stand with a current meta chase reward store like this. And I guess it would be something that I think players would feel like they're working towards something. I love the idea of Radiance. I just want to extend it out, but I might be in a minority to that particular thought. But yeah, consolidating other currencies just sounds so much of a better thing to do. But difficult when it comes to Arena, because a lot of people use Arena to farm units, and battle chips popped open with Arena crystals gets units, and that's going to be quite a... Yeah, that could cause a lot of issues if that particular currency. But that's a crystal currency as opposed to an actual store currency. Anyway, moving on, because we need to get to the impact of the new amounts of Radiance that you get, because now we've had some clarifications. So Kabam have confirmed that as of May 28th and June 9th and June 16th respectively for Alliance Wars, AQ raids, and AQ in general, they're going to see the shift in Radiance being added into those stores, which is great news, by the way. It's great news because I was worried for myself and many other people that work full-time, have other interests, don't have a huge amount for the time for the game, but do want to play the game and kind of like know that their time is getting something back. Without having to farm extensively in, say, Battlegrounds or get to a certain point, they can at least participate in AQ, AW and find that they're getting Radiance back as a result. The impacts of the amount of volume that you can farm can be seen right here. So depending on what rank you are, and I'll just kind of like, where's the red arrow? There. Depending on what rank minimum and max you get, so if you're in these brackets right here, brackets right there, you'll be able to understand how much Radiance you're able to get, which is right there towards the right hand side. The same thing when it comes to the AQ raids, which again is on screen, and then I'll put a link to this, or I'll put a link to my spreadsheet, because I've done a spreadsheet to kind of like go over this. But yeah, the Radiance volume's there. So what's the implications? Why do we need to be talking about this? Well, it's all about giving you as much information as possible. So I think I'm going to have this spreadsheet available for people to see, and gives people an opportunity to kind of go, well, what can I get, Rich, and when can I get what I think I can get? Okay, so first of all, what I've done is there's a tab that says Radiance Farming. It puts together everything we know about Battlegrounds farming, which is over the left-hand side, and then like over to the right-hand side. Left-hand side, Battlegrounds. Right-hand side is the Alliance War rank rewards and AQ raid and AQ in general. So the implications of this are to these particular scenarios on screen. Because the question I have, and the probably question that you have for me is, well, Rich, what can I actually get farm-wise? What can I get per year? And what can I buy? Those are real big questions for any player at the moment. And here's some scenarios. I've got 3 scenarios for you. I've got like a low scenario, a mid scenario, and a top-end scenario as well. So it kind of at least gives you an idea of how much Radiance you're going to get per year from this current iteration of stuff, depending on, you know, circumstances. Circumstance number 1, if you are like a mid player that is able to get Uru 6, is able to get Alliance Wars Platinum 3, for example, every season-ish, or every month-ish, then raids, AQ raids, and you get like position 91 to 150, and then AQ, say you do it 3 times in rotation plus the AQ raid, you could look to, again, estimate potential, 2.1 million Radiance, right? And that's important because you want to know, well, what can I actually get back from that one? So I put also, there's a tab that's in the spreadsheet. I can't remember if I think I shared this to give you an idea of what you can actually get. That mastery point for me is, and as I've said before, it's a no-brainer. You're gonna have to do it. And in one of the other tabs, I've got like, okay, well, if you want to get per month something like the units, which you probably want to get, it's not too bad. And the extent of volume, right here. I mean, here's some examples like cost per month of some of these particular stuff. You do need a lot in order to kind of like get there and get this stuff. Like if I just done a quick calculation on what I've kind of like put here, it's about 700k. So yeah, that's affordable on a per halfway through. If you're a mid-level player, halfway through the year, you'll be able to get mastery point and then some of this other stuff like on a regular basis. Actually, I should kind of like do it like this. I should go, okay, so from a units perspective, and I had to cut the video because I wanted to kind of like, I don't want to do like a million different calculations for stuff, because what you want is not necessarily going to be like completely literal. Oh, you want 12 times the tier 7 basic. I did a quick calculation for that. Like, if you want 3 times 12, so what we're talking about, 36 tier 7 basics, we're talking about like it's going to cost for you 4.5 million Radiance. You're not going to do that, right? Let's be brutally honest. But if you were to do something, and this is interesting, finding out that you can get 9,000 units per year, right, for a cost of 203,000 Radiance, I think this might interest a lot of people to take their farming from, say, Arena onto something like a Battlegrounds-ish type thing. It actually means that you can acquire more units a little bit more easier, especially if you are going to be taking some of your farmed Radiance from something like AQAW and then using it to grab units. It actually saves you from doing Arena, or it adds on top. If you're able to find a lot of time for the game, like, that's great. But Kabam have kind of inadvertently given us a quality of life improvement. That means that you don't suffer for unit farming if you choose, like, oh, I don't have enough time to farm Arena. Well, if you just play AQ, AW based stuff and then take that spending of Radiance and put it into something like the kind of like grabbing of units by this method, then that could be 203,000 out of your Radiance amount. And if you are someone, as we've said with the scenarios, if you are someone that is able to get AQ 151250, even if you are able to get like even a lower end, like I did a scenario here, if you are a gold 2 person, you don't do Battlegrounds, you could get the 10k from getting up to Gladiator Circuit, and even if you don't, it still could be like minus 100k per year. Still, like, that's a good, you'd have change left over if you were just solely getting units. Now, yes, that's something to kind of point out, is the units don't work like that on a 30-day rotation. It's actually 35, but it could be a little bit less than that. So let's kind of like, right, without splitting splitting hairs about this right here and like, well, it's actually 35 days, Rich. Okay, yep, so maybe it's a little bit less. Maybe it's like 9k units. Maybe it's a little bit less than that, like, but it's not ridiculously less than that. It's still an option, it's still a viable option. If you're someone that wants to grab units for things like July 4th deals or Cyber Weekend deals, then this again is kind of like an extra option, so shall you be interested in such a thing. So therefore, any redundant Radiance or extra Radiance you have, apart from the Mastery Point, which I do think you do need to get as soon as possible, the extra amount of... and I'm sure some people will say, no, you don't need the extra Mastery Point. You probably don't, right? But what you could do is by grabbing that Mastery Point, just help out with some Mastery changes, like add an extra here or there. And because... the future, I reckon Kabam are going to be adding more masteries. I think they've even said that's going to be the case. At least you'll have like a step in the right direction to go grab it. I love the fact Kabam are putting some rare and funky things in here, including Magik. And that's the kind of end point I want to have for this video, is to say you might want to consider hoarding your Radiance. If there's nothing in that store that is going to matter to you, or there's going to be stuff there you kind of go, Kabam might change and adapt the store in the future, at least what you can do is say, I've hoarded a good amount of Radiance, the store was changed, and I reckon Kabam, if they do a change, like say at the end of the year, or start of next year, and you have a nice chunk of Radiance hoarded for that particular change, then you're ahead of the game, right? I'm not saying that that's a good thing to do or not. I do personally think that the Mastery Point is something good to grab now. The units as well are going to be helpful if you don't want to go and grab I don't have the time to farm units for Cyber Weekend deals. I'm struggling for time at the moment. I'm hoping that improves, but I don't know at the moment. It probably next month, but yeah, like you've got to find an opportunity to get what you can get, especially if you're non-spending. So there's a lot of stuff that's of value in here to go and grab if you so choose to go and grab it. But apart from that, yeah, what's everyone's thoughts on the Radiant store and this kind of like now getting an idea of how much you farm? And kind of like for a top end perspective, and just again finishing the video with this, if you are someone in Master or higher up and finish higher up in Battlegrounds, you could get 5.8 million Radiance a year. That's a lot of stuff that you can get to buy, and of course very good if you are highly competitive in the sphere of MCOC, so fair play. So there's definitely stuff on offer, whether you're a mid player, a new-ish player, or kind of like advancing player. And of course, if you're a high-end grinder of the game, I'm sure you're going to find something lovely to go grab, whether or not you want to invest more time into the game this year. And of course, going into next year, well, we have the delightful Magik coming into game, which that is priority. I need to get this champion, really do. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I'll probably put a link to the spreadsheet in the description if you want to check it out, and I'll see you soon.